Are you following Jesus or are you using his name to build the life that you always wanted? Okay, listen. In the Haitian community, church isn't just church for most people. It's everything.
I mean, I guess you're right because in the Haitian community, church is like a lot of culture and discipline, fear, love, and honestly, sometimes it's like too much to unpack.
I agree.
And then you grow up and then you just start asking questions that you were never, allowed to ask.
Yeah. So what type of questions you guys usually ask that you weren't able to ask when you were younger?
Like, did I actually love God?
Is God really able to see everything that we're doing?
Oof, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Alright, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
That's too much, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about the church. Did you guys grow up in church or how you get into that?
Yeah, I would say like since I was a little girl growing up, the first thing I knew was church. Church, my mom, my dad. That's all I knew.
You?
Yep, basically. But honestly, yes, I grew up in church, but as far as was I dragged into it, also yes, because ever since I was little, we've been going to church, so it's not like we had a choice. And up until COVID, we had never missed a Sundays going to church ever since we were
Never?
never. Yeah, so definitely it was a drag, but at the same time, yeah, we did go up. So it's kind of both of them.
What do you feel like you were dragged?
It wasn't drug, but it was like more like you don't have a decision because you will be going to church in a Christian house. Sundays were made for church, so you didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would go whether you were sick or not. You say, "Let's go to church." You will pray for it.
Yeah.
And you'll be healed.
Exactly.
I feel like these were like the two things in a Haitian household you couldn't really miss out on was church and school. You were sick, you going to church.
Exactly.
And I remember my dad. I remember that my dad used to say, "Oh, let's go to church and you pray and you'll be okay."
If you have to lay down on the chair,
yeah,
you can
you'll
do that,
be
but
fine.
you
You'll be
will
fine.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm sick. I'm tired. I don't want to go. It
The
was
Holy
just,
Spirit
it was
knows
just
what's up.
you going. And it was this almost like the same for school. The only time I remember I would be able to, if I was really sick, like he actually see me throwing up, or like I went to the doctor and the doctor said she needs to stay home. That was the only time I would be home. But when it comes to church, I feel like my dad would literally try to say, "I just prayed, and you'll be better after church."
Exactly. I remember being sick, and my dad was like, "Well, if you're really sick, then you should definitely go to church because nobody's gonna be looking after you. So if you go to church, there's plenty eyes on you. So I have to go to church."
And the whole congregation could come together
Exactly.
and pray over you.
Yeah. So when did you guys first feel the Christian pressure? Like around what age?
10, 11.
10, 11?
I feel like since I was a kid, because like for me, like I also grew up in the church, and like my mom, we'd have to go to church at a certain time because the way the churches work, like in Haiti, there's like a specific section for us. We always have to be like in the front, and there's like one little section, and like everybody else would be in, the adults would be somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
So they're kind of like staring at you, making sure you're doing this and that. And then we'd have little Bible studies before the service, and then once the service start, you have to like not go in the front, but stand up and then talk about, or like it wasn't not talk about it, but like recite what they had just taught you.
Oh, my dad used to do that, but it would be like on our way back to like the house. It'd be like, "So what did you learn today?
Yeah.
What did the preacher say?" Stuff like that.
That's
So,
when you better Google it.
I would have to like, sometimes he would do that when we like going back home. He'll be like, "Oh, how was the sermon?"
Yeah. I was
Were you
asleep.
sleeping?
I was asleep. I don't know.
I'm like,
So what'd you say?
So I know, like
Make something
sometimes,
up?
yes, sometimes you
So
have
awkward.
What if he's doing that?
You don't remember what he said. The Holy Spirit took over.
No, one thing I would do, I remember this till this day, and I know that's something, I should not say, but sometimes I would take a notebook and I would write the verse they preach about.
I was
and
sleeping, waking up in a random time, like, he said that. Okay, cool. What did you be like? Oh, I like the part where you said this and that and this. And we're like, oh yeah. What else? I don't know.
It was just a great sermon overall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything was amazing. I can't really pick which one was good.
Mhm.
Everything was just.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like you guys have to be perfect?
All the time. Like that's
Yes.
one thing about like being a Christian person, because it feels like you get judged. Whatever you do, you get judged.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if you do something good, if you do something bad. People will find something to judge you, especially in church, and that's something that I can never, try to. That's something I can't ever understand, because I'm like, if you praising God, you're saying God is the greatest, like, I'm praying God, like, I'm whatever people say these
Worshiping.
days, yeah, and why are you talking bad about me to other people?
You know what I just remembered? You know how like when you go to church every Sunday, right? Like you know how like for example in an American church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you could wear whatever.
Yes.
Oh my! I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing
until I moved out. I was like, is she wearing pants? While
I'm
she's
like,
walking through the.
I started judging you.
I know. I walked in, I see everybody. I'm like, we can do that?
Yes.
Like,
That's one thing I was shocked. Like one time I went to a American church and I saw he was wearing sandals. I'm like,
In the
and,
church?
and keep in mind, it was not judging. It's just the way we were raised.
yes.
You have to dress. You
Sunday
have to
best.
dress from top to bottom.
Yes, like
Perfectly.
yes, like you had to dress tough to go to church. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't just
Everything
wear.
covered.
Yes, you couldn't just wear anything to go to church. And that's the thing I'm like understanding more now that I'm a little bit older. It's like God don't care. Like I'm not saying wear a tank top and go to church,
Yeah.
but like you can have a shirt, like something. As long as you covered up,
Mhm.
I don't think God will judge you and say you shouldn't come to church like this.
Yeah.
But in the Haitian community, if you come to church with jeans and sandals on,
The sermon might even be about you.
Exactly. They'll be like, when you come into church, you should not be dressing like you want. Okay? You're not going to club. You're not going to stripper club. You're coming to church. So wear your best dress. And then people at the church be like, amen. But anyway.
And then when they're walking in, everybody turns around.
yes,
Oh my God.
yes,
And then
yes.
after church, did you not see what she was wearing? Like, oh my God. Like,
And it's
who
crazy.
dressed
It's
like
like
that?
you left your house, you came all the way to church, just for you to talk bad about someone.
Anyway, this is just a little taste of like the expectation that we never agreed to, but it happens. This is the first thing that we have to learn being in the Haitian community church services.
Okay, guys. Did you grow up loving God, or do you think you just feared Him?
That's a really good question. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like when I was young, it was more like fear. But now it's just like it's more love, because I get to understand who is God, what He does for me, like how He protected me, how He's there for me. Now it's more love instead of like when I was younger, it was just like I was like I love God because my parents told me to love God. Now I get to know Him, and I get to know who God is.
Right.
I have a personal relationship with God, so like I don't just love Him. It's just like He's my everything.
Yeah. What about you?
I think for me, it was, especially when I was young, it was definitely about me being scared of God. because that was a no-brainer. It's like you go to church and they say, "Feel God, dojo, feel God," and they say he's so big that the whole world is in his hand. I'm like, how big is this dude?
How big is his hand?
And then they're like, when Jesus come or when God come, so many people are going to hell. It's like the sand next to the beach. It's like there will be so many people. I'm like, I don't want to be one of those people.
Yes.
You know, and they're like, you're gonna be burning for eternity. These are the things that you grew up, you know, listening to.
Yeah.
They're
And you scared them. You're like what? I don't want to be one of these saints next to the sea.
Exactly. God literally, Jesus got mad at Satan because he tried to replace him, and then he was sitting in the pit of hell, like all in the bottom, and now he's suffering, and now he's trying to get people with him to come for him, and it's like, how do you know which one's God? When they say both Satan and Jesus, they have the ability to talk to you, you know, in your mind and stuff like that, like to tell you what to do. So it's like growing up, it's like you don't know which one is which, but sometimes you can tell that it's like wrong versus right, but it's like it was definitely fear. But then growing up, it's like he's my Jesus, he's my savior, and you start to learn. It's not about fearing him; it's more like learning him and knowing the right way. And as long as you keep reading your Bible and then you know the right way and the right thing to do,
it should be good.
Exactly.
There should not be any fears or, you know, as long as you following the right path, you're good in his book.
So instead of seeing him as the person you should be scared of, it's like, that's my father, and you know.
Yeah, and he shouldn't hurt me, and he wants the best for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about you?
Me, I think it was fear as well. Because it's like you grow up and you hear all the stories about heaven and hell, and then you're like, and then have you ever heard about like when it's like the hot, have you ever feel the heat when it's like 90 something degrees? They're like, think about this, but every day.
Like 20
For
times
the rest
worse.
of it. Yeah, it's like way worse. So it's like, I'm like, dude, I want to go to hell.
I know, because I heard something like not too long ago. I heard that hell is not actually hell. Like, it's actually like going through stuff. That's what hell is. But when I was younger, I used to think hell is like fire. You burning and burning.
There's
and burning
still some
and burning.
conspiracy. Like some people say it's actual fire, and some people say it's just every bad thing that you've ever done in your life. They just keep replaying in your life.
That's what I've heard.
And it's crazy. The bad things. Oh yeah, I don't want that.
It's like the worst fear.
Yes.
And that's why it feels like fire, because you feel like you're in a nightmare
that you can never get out of. That's the worst type of punishment.
The actual fire is the worst.
No, because imagine your worst fear. Like
your worst fear. Keep playing over it.
Can you imagine if there's something really bad to someone and it's like the more you're scared of it, the more it keeps you playing in your head.
Playing in your head over and over. There's no medication to calm you down.
Dang.
Over and over.
Even
and
Satan
over.
don't want to be there.
Exactly.
Him himself.
We should ask our audience. What do you guys think it is?
That is so true.
Because
What do you think hell look like? Because it can be both actually. While you're in hell and then everything going in your mind.
Imagine you're already burning and then your worst fear is playing as that.
So you basically a mental game. And
Hey, don't get me back into my fear.
You
See, I said we grew up, now I'm like going the relationship with God, but I don't go back into the fear.
You need to get deeper to because if you're a Christian and you locked in with God, you're not cold, you're not warm, you're not cold. God's not gonna spit you out, and you're like, if you know you're locked in with God, then you know you're good. So there's nothing to be fear of, there's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah.
So I have a question: which belief do you think is cultural, and which one do you think is more like biblical?
That's a good one. I would say cultural in our community. They're like, oh, you can't wear pants to church or jewelries, like no jewelries, no pins. And sometimes I remember when I was young, my father used to say, if I paint my nails, that's kind of like the devil.
And everything was the devil. This is AI. It's not real.
Yeah, and it was just like, you were scared because like, oh my God, like everything is like, my ears weren't pierced until I was 18 years old because I was always scared because no jewelries,
This is still AI.
Yeah. No jewelries, no fake nails, no necklaces or
Mm-hmm.
it was just that's jewelry. But yeah, it was just like
You're supposed to be
you're
simple.
supposed to be simple and go to church and be respectful, but I don't think it says that in the
And
Bible.
I feel like that's why a lot of people don't go to church anymore because they feel like they cannot do nothing, like no fake hair, no stuff, no makeup, and some people really like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
when they feel like they can do that, or if they do wear these things and they go to church, they will be judged.
Yes.
So they just don't go to church at all, or they
Mhm.
just go to the more other cultures church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people and they're like, I don't go to church. I feel like I'm judged when I go to church.
Mhm.
And they're like, I just stay home and watch it at home. And I'm like, I'm like, it's cool and all to just, because back in the day, there was no internet that you can watch. You can stay home and like take the church in. There was none of that.
I know.
But nowadays we have a lot of technologies. So do you think it's bad for somebody to stay home and watch the service at home? Or do you think it's better in the eyes of God that they have to go to church and sit down in the seats in the church? Which one do you think is better? Do you think one of them is a sin?
It's definitely not really sin, but it's definitely better if you actually go to church face to face. Especially because most people, 80 or 90% people in America, they don't go to church every day. They just go on Sunday. So that's
so
already
true.
bad. So for you to still miss one day out of the week to be with your father and then like worship him, and you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna go to church. But there's nothing wrong with you. You just decided not to go in and you're just gonna watch it online while doing 5 million other things.
That's so true.
When you can
That's
just spend 2 hours
dedicated.
with God,
Yes,
it's
that's so
like,
true.
but
But-
you would never miss work.
But I could, reverse it and be like, they're technically still. Let's say I'm in my room. I put the service on, and like I'm really feeling the spirit. Technically, I'm still spending that 2 hours with God, just not in the church. But I'm gonna, contradict myself and say you do need community. So I think that's the part where I do think you need to be in church, not necessarily because you have to per se, but more because Christ, Jesus asks us to have a community, have each other. You
That's
hold
so
me
true.
accountable.
And I feel like when you have a community and people that can pray with you,
Exactly.
Mhm. It keeps you,
it keeps you grounded. It's much better.
And it's a better way to teach yourself to get closer to God. Because if you won't even drive to go to church, next thing you know, you will be comfortable enough to not watch the thing online. And if one day they don't go live and that's your favorite church, you're not gonna go to church, and you also not gonna be watching it online. It's just like when you could have just driving in,
That's true.
just spend that time with them.
That's
yeah. But you guys let us know. What do you do? Or do you go to church, or do you, stay at home?
Yeah.
So guys, what new truth about God have you learned as an adult?
I learned that when you have a relationship with God, you learn more things about not only yourself but your surroundings. You protect it, and it's just like as an adult, my prayers that I do every night or every morning is more now about praising God instead of asking Him for things. You get me? Of course, I'll say, God, this is what I'm looking for, but I'm not going to keep doing it because God can see what I need. God knows, like He knows. I thought that was like
a genie in the bottle.
Yeah, I thought that was like me, saying, because like God is my Father, so I'm like, anything I need to ask Him. I thought prayers, asking Him, was me. If I'm asking Him, He would just give it to me. But I learned as an adult. This is not how it works. You praise God, you worship Him,
Yeah.
you read your Bible, and then God knows. Because I'm like God, I'm praying and praying and praying and praying. You're not listening. It's not because He's not listening. He knows you don't need this.
Or He knows it's just not the right time.
And He knows it's not the right time. And that's one thing that changed my perspective on things forever. Forever. If I pray for something, I don't get it, I'm not complaining.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just not the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the right time. Because God will give it to me when it's the right time. Or He just won't give it to me if that's not right for me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's crazy because like even when you know this, you still like stubborn a little bit because you're like, but I want it, I need it,
Try to
like
find new ways
please,
to get it.
Yeah.
please, like. Lord, what about you guys?
I think for me, it's the idea that like God is a loving God. It's like when you're younger, it starts with like the whole fear aspect of it, where you're worshiping because you fear the hell and all those bad stuff. But like as you grow older, you're like, hey, God is a loving God. So it's like regardless of all that other aspect, He would never want to harm you in any way.
It's true.
And it's like for example, let's say you're in something, like for example in a relationship, and you're trying to make it work. Eventually, if it's not the right fit for you, and God knows that, He's gonna keep letting bad things happen. So eventually you'll be like, okay, I guess time to let that go, and then
And maybe that's a sign.
yeah. And another thing is God will never take something from you without replacing it with something better.
Amen.
So it's kind of like it will hurt in the moment.
What's
Yes.
not for you will not
But
stay.
yeah. And you just gotta I
hurts.
guess appreciate that.
It hurts.
Yeah, it'll hurt, but
Just
in a year from now,
wait and pray, and then
Yeah.
oh, you know the term? I forgot what it is. You know. But how about you?
For me as an adult, I had to learn that God is a jealous God. I've heard that verse before, but it's like to the point where like if you are 1 foot in and 1 foot out, you are not a foot in. Because it's either you with God or you're not with God. Doing something that you know God will not want you to do and be like trying to find a loophole, it's like, and mind you, if you know it's a loophole and you know God will not be happy with that, and it's to the point where like you no longer a little kid, so you can't go under like my dad will pray for me and God will forgive me, or like God knows I'm just a kid. You an adult, like you're responsible for every decision you make. So I had to learn that if God's not happy with it, if God's feeling you're not with Him, then you're against Him.
Wow, that's very powerful.
I remember the term. You may not know now. You may not understand it now, but you will eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day or
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make
Like,
sense now.
God, why?
But eventually it will all make sense.
It'll all make sense. You'll be like, if, dang, it's crazy. Like 2 years ago I was there, but look,
I wouldn't be here if I didn't let that go.
Exactly.
It's kind of like you've been praying for something and then crying, and then 2 years later you're living in the thing you were crying and praying for, and it's like you don't even realize it.
Realize, yeah.
You're too busy asking for something else instead of appreciating it.
Yes.
Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. So, would you guys say you're following the Bible, or are you following the Haitian tradition that comes with control?
Oh,
That's a good one.
that is a
That's a
good
good
one.
one.
Oh, I'll go first. For me, honestly, both. Because when you grow up in a certain way, not every habit you can let go, and some of them you can see later on why they were created. So I would definitely say both. Because, for example, I'm not talking about like wearing church strippers, because I would never in a million years dare to wear pants on a Sunday Haitian church. That's a tradition or like a control or like whatever you want to call it. That's something I'll never be able to do. And definitely the Bible, because the Bible, most of the things that are in the Bible, it comes with the Haitian culture control thing, but it's just like they be so extra with it. They be adding salt and and all that type of stuff. So for me, it'll be. So how about you, Michelle?
It's pretty much the same of like what you were saying, where it's like a mixture of both the traditions as well as like the Bible. Like for example, like Ephesians 6, it's talking about how children, obey your parents and whatnot, which is a Bible, thing. But with Haitians, with the culture aspect of it, it becomes a whole, whatever I say goes. That's what the Bible said.
Exactly.
The Bible said, children, obey your parents with no questions. But with
And
them,
one thing,
no
they
questions.
don't know the difference between obedience and having your own
Thoughts.
exactly.
Yeah.
They take everything as disrespecting instead of like you making your own choice.
Oh, your own
Yeah.
decisions.
And though, like, when they forgot, they don't read the whole verse. They only saw children obey your parents. They don't see the part where it also said
And
parents.
That.
No, they always left that part out.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
'Cause that would make them look like they have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But
But how are you?
But yeah.
How are you?
I would say like following the Bible.
oh,
Okay.
Yeah. Mostly, there are some things, in the Haitian tradition that is you have to follow.
right.
But at the same time, I feel like that was me when I was younger. Now, if it's not in the Bible,
I agree. Now you create your own tradition and your
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
your own way with God.
yeah, and it's going to be the same in the future. I feel like, the way God have things in the Bible, that's what I should be following instead of just because it's traditions or, that's what my parents think is best. I don't I can form my own opinion now instead of just listening to. Yeah, I appreciate the the way I was brought up. I think that plays a good
Shape the way you
shaped my character or my personality, the person I am today,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very grateful for that. But at the same time, I feel like right now, at a certain age, I can form my own character and shape it, not form it, because I think it's already formed, but I can shape it. I can mold it into.
Okay. Into the person you want to be. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
All right, everybody. This is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you get to the end, if you like any of the conversations that we had, any of the topic that we talked about today, please let us know down below. Or if you want to hear more from a specific segment, also comment down below, and we can provide that in the next podcast or video that we have. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to build a small community on here. And
Don't forget, God loves you.
yes, God
So do
loves
we.
you.
God love you.
Bye.